What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hope everybody is doing pretty marvelous this Monday. We not really seeing a great deal of action on the market today. Really, even the first half of the day, we didn't really do too much on the SPY. Had a nice little gap up, very nice subtle consolidation back and down for about the first hour and a half, and then very slightly rising really ever since then. So yeah, not much really else to say. It's been a pretty it's been a mellow day. It's been a very mellow day. Tech has kind of started to just Tech's has been pushing higher. Nice little gap up on the Qs. And yeah, there you go. Up 1% on the Qs. Most of everything else has been much more quiet. Even the Qs actually earlier this morning was just they just weren't doing a whole lot, and like even most of the day, it's just been more sideways movement, and then you get these little subtle push higher. Um, that yeah, not really much else to say. Market's probably just mostly waiting on. We're just mostly waiting on CPI tomorrow morning. So, and then Fed on Wednesday. So yeah, that's gonna be probably Tuesday, Wednesday, and then even Thursday after we come out of the Fed on Wednesday is going to be, we're going to be moving. We're going to be moving. IWM looking pretty good here. DIA looking pretty good here. RSP looking pretty good here. So it's a pretty choppy day for most of the major indices. Even the Qs this morning was pretty choppy. Been moving higher over the past couple of hours, but not super aggressively. So we'll see how the market ends today. Yeah, not too much really to say about the market today. So, and the SPY is actually getting up towards the high that we put in on Friday. All right. First Solar up 2%. Nvidia's up a little bit at Netflix. Netflix is kind of flat, not really doing a whole lot. AAPL pushing higher. Yeah, looking pretty good. Okay. All right, let's go take a look. I want to see. Oh, you know what? I'm really kind of curious the rotation on today. We're not really seeing much crazy rotation, honestly, but I am kind of curious to see how some of the rotation today has been. So so with the gap on the day, tech and discretionaries are leading the way. That makes sense. You got a lot of green over in tech. Amazon, Tesla, both up about 2%. So that makes sense. Okay. Communications kind of flat. Industrials kind of flat. A little bit more. What's going on, Ingrid Sushi? How you doing, sir? Happy nice Monday to you. See what happens tomorrow morning. CPI. Materials a little lagging today. So is healthcare. A lot of laggers here. You got financials, utilities, staples, real estate, energies. A lot of them underperforming on the day. All right. So we got here. So without the gap, yeah, you can see that mid morning pop. That you saw tech and discretionaries really start leading from then. Kind of makes sense. A lot of the underperformers on the day, yeah, staples, real estate, energies, financials, and utilities, all down there. Healthcare is also underperforming, but not as bad. We got communications outperforming, industrials outperforming, and materials outperforming. So really, industrials, yeah, materials. Apparently, they had a little bit of a gap down, but the intraday buying on them hasn't been too bad. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens in the last 2 hours. It's just kind of been a zombie walk higher for most of the day. It really hasn't been, anything other than just sleepwalking higher on the market. It's been a very quiet day. That was kind of my other scenario. I kind of was thinking about. Here we go. As we were kind of getting into the beginning part of this week, is a lot of times the market, when you get into these big time weeks of major catalysts, A lot of times they just fall asleep. They just fall asleep until you get to those catalysts. So it makes sense. I mean, because we're probably gonna get the Fed interest rate decision tomorrow morning. I know it's gonna come out Wednesday afternoon, but we're probably gonna get the decision or what their decision will probably be tomorrow once we get CPI. And what is, I believe, expected CPI? I'll look at a few different sources here. Tomorrow morning, so we get core inflation. Okay, so inflation rate year over year is 4.1%. It previously came in at 4.9%, so that's quite a drop there. 4.1%. Okay. Core inflation is the one that really hasn't been dropping all that much over the past several months. That's the one that's been kind of sticky, hanging in there, kind of tough. So we'll see what happens there. If that drops, then I think it'll be all clear for the Fed to hold easily. Um, Even still, as long as this probably doesn't go higher, I mean, it's probably just gonna be locked into a hold. And year over year, as long as this probably comes under 4.3%, probably be all clear for a hold, I would imagine. So, and then what are they expecting on the market is still expecting a rate hold for June. So not really, a little bit more locked in. I think, yeah, Friday looked like it was about 70%. Today is about 76%. So a little bit more locked in. Possible rate hike in July, September. September looks like it would be a hold. Jeez, come on. And then November looks like it would be 50-50 split, rate hike, rate hold, or a cut. I say 50-50, but it's more like 40-40. And then probably at least be back down to our current level in December with either a hold or a cut, depending on whatever they did. So, all right, we'll see what this changes tomorrow. Oh man, there's a lot riding on that CPI number. A lot of people about to be moving some money. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we got sectors. So let's run through some of these sectors. I just want to see how they look. So you got window tech looking good. Ooh, look at that consolidation tech had over the previous, like, what was that, 2 weeks or so? Yeah, nice little consolidation pushed up over the past couple days. There you go. Tech XLK looking pretty good there. I know it's getting back, yeah, kind of towards the all-time high area. Yeah. Everybody kind of seems to be chasing tech right now. And, tech, even though the market, a lot of sectors, we're about to run through a lot of them, even though a lot of things aren't really looking all that great. I mean, tech just seems super extended right now. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting. XLC came right into this bottom last week, and we'll see what happens there. See what happens there, but that's pretty good resistance area. XLY came right into this resistance area about the same time frame this bottom XLC has. So those two kind of hitting some major resistances. XLK is too, but it's kind of breaking up through those a little bit. The XLP, the staples, look like they want to break down. Wow. So they're down about 0.5% on the day. Healthcare, basically flat. They're down a little bit. It's not a big deal. Utilities down about 0.5%. Yeah, I mean everybody's just like, screw it. Let's just buy tech. Energies are down 1.3%. We'll go check out crude oil, see if crude oil is moving. Which it might crude. You know what? Energy stocks. I don't think energy stocks directly got a downgrade, but Goldman Sachs actually came out and lowered crude oil price targets. Let's see if I can find it. Yep. Oh, here we go. All right, let me pause this. Well, if you can see it through the little timeline here. Goldman Sachs lowers oil price forecast 286 from 95. So I mean that's kind of a downgrade a little bit, but yeah, energy's not really looking all that great. I mean, that's a huge upper wick on the day. It came out, got bought up very aggressively this morning, and then sold off ever since then. Financials, XLF, down a little bit over a 0.25%. Okay. Industrials. Industrials up about 0.5%. That's kind of impressive. Okay. I mean, that's kind of impressive. Materials, a little bit positive, not too much, about 0.2%. Okay. They had a pretty nice lower wick there. Yeah, sold right away in the morning and then kind of bounced a little bit. All right. Real estate, XLRE, down about 0.75%. Nice little, yeah, coming into these moving averages, man. That's kind of tough. That's tough. I mean, 'cause you had a strong move over the previous 2 weeks. You could say this is just resting, going to push higher, finally break, because you do have also a higher low here over the past couple of months. Uh, but until it kind of takes out these highs from like March, April, not really. It could just be a pivot pattern here, longer term. Yep, have to see. Whoa, SLY. They took away the SLY? What the heck? Ugh, they took away the SLY. Good grief, man. I gotta go find another one. They took away the SLY. MDY, mid caps, doing okay. Doing okay on the day. They're up a little bit over 0.25%. They're up almost 0.4%. Have a little bit more of a wild swing kind of day here on the MDY. A little drop early, rise, drop. Yeah, just choppy. Just choppy in here. SPY G, SPY V's, I would imagine growth is probably leading here. Yeah, growth is leading. They had a pretty good drop last week. Discretionaries over staples will make sense. Discretionaries are killing it today, and the staples are getting crushed. A lot of people are going to be pointing to this now on this relationship. Going to be like, oh, here's the all clear. You got an inverted kind of head and shoulders, especially if like we break this out. So if we break out of here, probably look for the retest in our current level. If you like doing pairs trading, might not be a bad one. Qs. How is the DIA doing? So DIA, I'm gonna go back through actually the market ETFs. So the equal weight SP 500. I mean, this thing was moving, and I think it's the same thing with the IWM. Yeah, these things were moving early. They were just like all over the place. They had an initial drop, they popped, and then it was just kind of just bouncing around, and then it was the same kind of deal with the IWM. Just initial drop and then a bounce, and then just kind of bounced around. What about the DIA? Yeah, DIA is a little bit less choppy, but choppy throughout the day. The Qs were the ones that were just kind of, they were quiet in the first few hours. They were just really, really quiet, and then they just started poking its head above, the morning high, and it just kind of has kept going. Like people just haven't really stepped in to sell anything. It's just sleepwalking higher. Not really too much to say other than that. It was just very, very mellow. I was like, all right, just gonna be a dead day until we get to tomorrow. And we might just move higher here over the next like day or two. I mean, this is about to put a lot of hurt on people. This is about to be a whole lot of hurt because we're like pushing higher, and we're about to get some catalyst days here. So, I mean, this bottom right here could be interesting. The other thing I'd be really interested to see happen is the Qs actually fill this gap here. Back from, oh man, August. This is August, no, April of last year. April of last year up to about 361, 361.50 type area. That would be a real interesting fill if they did that, if the Qs did do that. And it might be, like a quick move. I mean, 'cause it's only, I mean, that's not even a percent away. Or maybe it is about a percent. It's about a percent away. It's not quite, but it's close. So I mean, I mean, we're up 1% today, so we don't have far to go on the Qs to do that. Most likely, it's just going to do that. I mean, I'd be curious to see what happens after that. I mean, we're going to get an answer this week and what's really going to be going on. If we push higher middle part of the week and we start to roll over towards the end of the week, that'd be an interesting scenario. Man, there's really just not a whole lot kind of happening. Let's run through some of these stocks. Jeez, bright screens. So Tesla, they Tesla. The one thing I liked about Tesla years ago was they were actually investing in infrastructure. I don't like it right now. I don't. I mean, this move is just too crazy for me. Um, but Elon Musk, for all the flack he was taking. Oh man, this is years ago. Shoot, it was before this run up. Back in, yeah, this time period, about 2017, 2016 to like 2019, early 2019. He was taking a lot of flack for really investing in the infrastructure side of electric vehicles, and uh, it's kind of like a double. It's kind of like a double thing you're trying to target, right? When you're trying to build out the infrastructure for electric vehicles, one, you realize when you're trying to build electric vehicles, there is no infrastructure, right? So people aren't going to just charge their vehicles at home. They're going to want to go travel and do other things. So long distance traveling, you want to help cater to that. So they were putting in a lot of those Tesla charging stations for years back in the 2010s. More of the second half of the 2010s, like after 2015, they were really doing that, and they were using a lot of capital to do it. Though they were using a lot of capital. Fast forward now a couple of years, get to about 2022, and it's like that's one of the best features about Tesla vehicles, right? 2021, 2022 is they have you buy one of their cars, they have infrastructure that you can use to charge your vehicle when you go drive around. Now fast forward to 2023 and it's like other car manufacturers are like, yeah, we can't count on other, groups, organizations, entities to put in electric vehicle charging because they're just not doing it. They're not doing it at a fast enough pace, and we should just make a deal with Tesla, and that's basically what Ford and GM have done here over the past like month. They both announced deals with Tesla to use their charging technology, and now going forward, I don't know when it's going to start. Because obviously you got to work through production and getting those resources and parts put into vehicles and stuff like that. But the fact that you're going to have Ford and GM vehicles going forward going to be using the network, that just allows more money to be brought in for Tesla, and there you go. Like the investment paid off. It took years, but now it's not even every vehicle that Tesla sells is going to be, you know, making money off its network or getting, they're going to be, powered off the Tesla network. But now all GM and Ford electric vehicles are then going forward going to start to use the Tesla network, which that just brings in more money, right? And that's not even cars that you have to sell. So it's just fantastic. So Tesla doesn't even have to worry about selling cars now as much. They just got to worry about. Obviously, you probably still want to sell the best cars you can, but it's just great, good for them. It was a great plan back in the day. It just finally worked off. It took a few years. But I think Ford and GM kind of just realized that Like the infrastructure for electric vehicles is just not there, and that kind of goes back to my point. The infrastructure for electric vehicles is just not there. I don't really know if electric vehicles are ever really going to be the next thing. I just don't. I want to say they will, but I don't know if they will. But the other thing is, I can't justify $700 billion for a car company. And now that Tesla, is a car and charging station company, it's like, are they also a utility company? And it's like, even if you combine the like a car manufacturer and a utility company, still couldn't justify uh, the value that Tesla is. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean Elon Musk, man, he's smart. He's smart. He saw it in the future. He's like, man, this is our problem. Our problem is charging. So I'm wondering if they're ever going to bring solar panels. When that they acquired, oh man, it's not First Solar, but I forget the solar company that they acquired a couple years back. But they were supposed to be using a like solar panel shingles on the roof into the charging wall power bank that Tesla had, and it was supposed to be like an all integrated system. And I don't even know whatever happened with that. Let's see. Um, Tesla solar power roof. Let's see if they still have that. Roof Fix SA. Tesla partnership with Ford maybe could lead into acquiring majority stake Ford. Oh, that's good. I don't see the benefit. I don't know, man, because that just comes back to they're chasing you. So why do you want to acquire them? I guess that's my thought process. They're chasing you. Why do you need to acquire them? It's not like they're coming up on you. So they still have the solar roof. I guess. I don't know how much they're really pushing this. I thought the way this looked and stuff, I always thought this was a freaking cool idea. I really always thought that this was going to be like, that is what will disrupt a lot of the energy area. I just don't know if the technology is hard to manufacture or what, but it just seems like it just hasn't taken off. And I always thought this was cool. This little damage test. Let me see. Yeah, I always thought that was cool. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't see them acquiring either Ford or GM or GM. I just I wouldn't see the benefit. I mean, the only thing you're going to get out of that is manufacturing, right? Because that's their assets. That's like what Ford and GM have, is they just have manufacturing. But I wouldn't say. I mean, if you asked anybody, hey, who has the better electric vehicles? Is it Ford, GM, or Tesla? And I would imagine just about everybody would say Tesla. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen or been inside of a Ford or GM electric vehicle, so I don't. I mean, I've seen the Ford Mach E on streets, but I've never seen inside it. So I don't know if how great they look. I mean, Tesla vehicles look nice, dude. They look nice, and that's this Tesla though did it right, man. They actually said, hey, electric vehicles don't have to be the Beetle bug of like what Ford, GM, and Toyota were trying to make it out to be like back in 2000. They looked like crap. Tesla came out and made them sexy as hell. They look good. Tesla's also looking to get into cell phone market. Man, that is so tough. I know. I mean, those rumors have been around for a couple of years, several years. But I mean, Amazon tried that. Do you remember that? Amazon tried that with their own They tried that with their own phone, and dude, they shut that down. They tried for about a year, and they were like, "Yeah, no, this ain't working." Cell phone plus Starlink could get into Apple's profits. Ooh, I told you, yeah. Um, if you combine that with Starlink, that's an interesting type situation. But if you're gonna go the Starlink route, like, because basically you're gonna say, okay, cell phone service, but it's not a cell phone; it's a satellite phone, right? Because that's what you're gonna use. If that's what you're gonna look to use with Starlink, that's different. And that the latency between even low Earth orbit satellites, which is what Starlink is, the latency's still off. It's still not the best. It still doesn't compete with cell phones, but I mean, it's interesting. It really is. Now you bring that up, Angry. It's an interesting way to go because you have it everywhere. Could eat into Verizon, T-Mobile. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with what T-Mobile. I'll put a D on it. T-Mobile. Yeah, I don't. I mean, it could very much that could very much happen. The thing is a lot of these telecommunication companies. I mean, they are satellite companies. You just don't think of them because they provide so much of your cell service. Like AT&T owns DirecTV, so they own satellites, so they have satellite communications. It, in most of these, actually, most of them telecommunications. I mean, they're what they do is they send your signal to the satellite. It just bounces off of a tower nearby. Right, they do own their own. Yeah, Tesla does own. Well, Tesla doesn't own their own network of satellites. SpaceX owns those networks of satellite, but if you want to say Elon Musk owns both, yeah, we can go with that. Yeah, it would. It it is interesting. That is an interesting uh, play. I think though. I mean, if you want to talk about like disruptive, I'm curious. What is to me? This is the one that's going to be most disrupted, and that seems like to me is more obvious, more locked to be disrupted than others. Like they could be disrupted, but it would take a lot more time. I think Alphabet is like on the cusp of being disrupted in a major way. And it's not even that if they like with AI and Chat GPT and all that, if they just even if they maintain market share, right? And they maintain their 90% search to 90% AI, like they don't make money on AI, and AI is more expensive. So it. I mean, you're talking about just massive amounts of carbon, um, margin compression. It's just crazy. Tesla phone could be international coverage. Yeah, that's one thing that like yeah, I think that'd be great because that is one thing that's really dumb. Is why is there just not international coverage? Like so many people move around the world now. It's just so easy to move. It's not so easy to move, but I mean, it happens with much more frequency that it's like why not? Like just and I'm sure they have like international planes. I obviously I don't have one. Is Apple getting back to? Apple's gonna have maybe potentially the highest close ever today. Is my understanding here. Let's see, because you have to look back here. what was this close? January 3rd, close of 182, 182.01. We are currently at 182.74, so this would be the highest close ever for AAPL. Okay. I'm sure that won't hit any headlines today at all if that happens. None whatsoever. Highest closing high ever on AAPL. Um, Let me ask you, Angry, because Angry, I don't think you were here last week. We were talking about the Oh shoot, the Vision Pro. I think the Apple Vision Pro is Vision Pro. I think it's the Vision Pro. I think that's what they call it. What do you think about that? Just curious. Let me know what you thought about that thing, and also then with the price. I thought the technology was fantastic. I thought the technology that they showed off was really well done. From, I mean, obviously wasn't there, but from what you've heard, what you saw, people covered it and they tried it. Technology, yeah, like it was very clear inside the headset. So you got to take their word for it. But I mean, it looked very nice. It looked very nice. I was really kind of surprised how much the Qs just kind of just slept walked higher today. That's kind of impressive. Oh yeah, I don't know if y'all saw this. The futures for these guys rolled. The futures for ES and the futures for ES and Nasdaq rolled. Oh, what? Trying to. Well, now it's just making me out to be a liar. That's so interesting. It doesn't show it on this one. What's going on, Dad? How you doing, sir? How's the nap? Oh man, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I didn't see what I was looking for. Excellent. Nice. Dude, it started getting hot here, man. It's been like almost 100 degrees for the past 4 days. And it's like going to be 100 degrees now going forward. It's horrible. Horrible, man. Um Nvidia, dude, Apple's gonna make some headlines today. I'm gonna be really curious what the headline's gonna be. AAPL closes at all time high, highest closing high for AAPL. What else is like? There's just not a lot. I mean, we're gonna keep it kind of short today. There's just not a lot going on today. Oh yeah, I wanted to go check out crude oil. Sorry. Um, like everybody's kind of just in anticipation mode. Ooh, wait and see mode. Man, look at that move on crude oil. Yeah. I mean, when Goldman Sachs comes out and basically says, yeah, crude oil is worth 85, which is up here, by the way. Crude oil, Goldman Sachs valued it up here, and it's like 20 points away. They downgraded it from like 95 to 86 is what it was, I believe. Yeah. 86 to 95, yeah. So yeah, it was just we're gonna see lower lows on crude oil. How's gasoline doing with that news? Gasoline well off its lows, but definitely getting wrecked today, down a little bit over 4%. Okay. Man, that is brutal. That's a brutal day. Exxon, huge upper wick. It looks very much like the XLE. XLE, yeah, has a huge upper wick. Exxon Mobil, though, yeah, down 1.5%. Chevron, basically the same thing. It basically just got bought up initially very quickly. Um, ConocoPhillips, same thing. Yeah, a lot of these look the same. What else is out there? How's the dollar? His VIX fixes. That is so freaking interesting. I mean, we know why the VIX is up. The VIX is up because we're about to have two major catalysts coming forward: CPI tomorrow morning, and then the Fed on Wednesday. So it makes sense the VIX is up a little bit. Implied volatility just picked up there, but it's just funny when you see the VIX up that much on the market going higher. It's like, well, why isn't the VIX dropping? Because you got implied volatility's picking up. Dollar, nice little snag of the previous couple day lows on the dollar here, and the dollar's been not really pushing higher. I guess it was more the morning session before the market really opened. The dollar was pushing higher. It's been more of chopping sideways more than anything else. 10-year yield, nice little kind of doji action. Not really too much going on here. Like I said, a lot of things are probably going to be moving tomorrow and Wednesday. Ooh, almost filled that gap. Almost filled that gap on that 10-2 from back in March. Probably move tomorrow or tomorrow or Wednesday. At least fill that gap if it's not going to start climbing back higher. Gold GLD. Gold's consolidating in here for a while now. This is like almost a month. Yeah, it's getting to be about a month. It's just been kind of just chilling in this 184 to about 180 range. Be curious to see which way that breaks out. HYG, nice little pullback today. Let's see if it continues to push higher. The LQD looks like it's continuing just to kind of break down. Tell the two worlds right there. Risk on stuff looking pretty good. Risk off stuff not looking as good. How the TLT doing? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. XLU, diet your utilities not doing that good today. How's Dominion? Yeah, Dominion having a down day. Man, there's a lot of volume that came in on Dominion over the past week. Last week, a lot of volume there. Okay, I would be probably just looking. Man, I don't know. It's kind of hard to even call it. There's too much. There's just too much kind of short term that's gonna whip the market around. But it definitely looks like the market is just gonna just push higher. Jesus, let me get this off. Just push higher. Come snag, maybe up into this low around 437. Maybe makes some sense. We do still actually, I guess, on the SPY have not really. I mean, a little bit of an open gap all the way up here around 351. I don't really like to say it's an open gap too much. Just because we did cross over on the wicks on the lower end from that day on the following couple days. So yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, we're getting to like territory of like there's not much reason to be bearish, but I don't like being bullish right now. Still, just not the biggest bull, man. Not yet. I do like the trading opportunities. There's been some very clear trading opportunities. We had a very clear consolidation, started breaking out higher. There was a very clear trading opportunity up. I've been doing some more of that just to kind of help hedge my bearish positions. So that's been working. But um, that stuff's kind of a pain because I got to do like short term verticals when I do it. And it is what it is. But um, guys, I don't really have much else to really look at. We're just not seeing crazy activity today. We're definitely seeing a lot coming out of healthcare. We're seeing a lot coming out of energies. Yeah, energies got smacked. Goldman also downgraded crude oil. Financials a little bit more red, but yeah, I mean everything's just flowing into tech. I mean, just tech is just green and discretionaries. Tech and discretionary. Sorry, Tesla, Amazon up almost about 2%. Tesla's up pretty good. What about Amazon? How's Amazon looking? Amazon been running today. Okay, so Amazon was running. Yeah, Amazon held the market up pretty good. How about Mr. Softy? Oh, Mr. Softy, nice little gap up on Microsoft here. Sold down for about the first 30, 40 minutes and rallied after that. Nice, not a bad move. CRM. Whoa. Whoa. CRM, what happened to you? So CRM had a nice little gap up, traded higher for about 20 minutes, kind of slowly shot back up, kept pushing higher. Nice little evening star reversal right there, high of the day. Obviously, you don't know it at that time. You think maybe it's more of a pullback. Uh, that's why you got to have the risk management on. I mean, you can give it a shot, but man, look at that move over the past like 30 minutes. My goodness. Um, okay, that's weird. Just CRM stock alert. Salesforce announces AI cloud. What? AI cloud? Isn't that what the cloud is? Is AI? Isn't that what AI is? Is the cloud? What? Maybe that's why investors sold it off. They're like, well, freaking duh. I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, what? You know. Yeah. I don't get that, man. I don't like, announce this AI cloud. Like, all right. That'd be like Google coming out and saying, "Hey, we have this AI cloud thing called Google search called Bard." uh, Funny. Sometimes, man, companies just don't understand why they do some of the things they do. Check out some of these industrials. So cat deer looking pretty good. What is this? AMAT. Data said cloud can refer to internet-based server storage. WeSite services, what or West Site services, etc. But they are not all AI. Can run. They run by live people, not Skynet. There's no business called Skynet yet. The AI hasn't trademarked Skynet yet. What was that? Cat. I want to see what Cat's up to. Cat. Nice oscillation earlier this morning, man. It was kind of just all over the place. Nice little grind higher the past couple hours. Been pretty dead, except for like that first hour, just kind of all over the place. And then what about deer? Deer ran pretty strong in the first 30 minutes, but hasn't really done much since. And then AMAT. Applied Materials up 2.5%. You sir are wrong. No, I'm dead serious, man. I check every day. Please refer to Sky Ticker. Jesus. That's funny. Skynet cloud system. Hilarious. Once they get into building robotics, then we got problems, man. Then we got problems. Never heard of this company before. Oh my god. Where are they based out of since they're OTC? That is so funny, man. That's funny. Oh, that is too funny. Oh man. You guys crack me up. Did I take the tinfoil hat off? It's okay. Come join us all in the nuclear holocaust. That is. Hey Matt, man, that's a nice move higher. It's a nice move higher all day. Nice little gap up, little bit of a pullback in the first 20 minutes, and then it's just slowly grinded higher. Where are we getting to? Oh, getting back to kind of like previous resistance levels. I've been on a pretty good move here over the past month, 2 months, about past month. It might be a little bit of a rest time, right, Matt? Diet, don't yell at me. This is a family show. Oh man, look at that 1 minute. That's the thing is like sometimes you look at the 1 minute, it's just like you get crazy. You can see it's like some crazy pops like throughout the day. Sometimes just why here? Just really random crazy pops. All right, equal weight SP 500. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Just tech is just put the market on its back today and said, "Hold my beer," just nonstop. And this is without really semiconductors. I'm gonna say Nvidia, Intel. I think was up pretty good. Well, it kind of helps when you got the largest weighting. Apple is doing pretty good today. Let's run through those semiconductors. AMD, nice gap up, kind of retested lower. First 2.5 hours of the day, slight grind higher since. Okay. And then Intel. There it is. Intel pushing higher. Start the day. First three, first 2.5 hours, pretty strong push higher. Currently up 5%. Nice. I mean, dude, look at that. So good. We were looking at that Friday when that lower wick was forming. I was like, man, that looks so good. There it is. That sucker. I'm gonna say it, man. That sucker's bottomed. Really, it was this move back here. That move back in March was really the bottom. I mean, that was such a strong move. What else? Micron. How's Micron doing? Micron's up 2.5%. Nice. Um, Qualcomm. Qualcomm's up about 2%. So there's very specific areas. A lot of it's centered around tech that's moving today. Other than that, not much. And then tech is just kind of uplifting the market. That's about it. There's a little bit of spattering there in industrials, but not too much. Not too much. Alpha Hunters. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We got CPI tomorrow morning. We'll just see what happens. Year over year is expected CPI to come in at 4.1%. Last time it was at 4.9%. So I would say probably anything under 4.3% is going to be good. Core inflation is going to be one to watch though, because it has been really sticky. Hasn't really been coming down all that much. Kind of staying up in these elevated areas. So if you see this thing really drop off, that's kind of what you're looking for on core, and that's really the main area the Fed can kind of impact with interest rates. So if you see that come down, yeah, I mean market probably just might rip it. Yeah, those are the two things really to watch tomorrow when we get inflation, headline and core. Alpha Hunters, have a great rest of your night. Take care.